President, my question is again to the Minister for Workplace Safety, and I refer again to the losses at WorkSafe's workplace insurance arm of $4.4 billion over the last 3 financial years, the commissioning of a crisis committee and the urgent injection of $550 million late last year to keep WorkSafe afloat. And I ask, will the Minister guarantee that premiums for employers will not rise this financial year or next financial year?
Mr. Steve.
Thank you, President, and I thank Mr. Davis for his question, and of course he would be very well aware that premium decisions are made a particular cycle in the year, and they take into account a range of considerations, including claims liabilities, investments, and of course the economic outlook of the state. And I would like to remind Mr. Davis that the $550 million contribution that the government made to WorkSafe this financial year was all about ensuring that employers had that support they needed coming out of the economic pressures that the pandemic has created in our state, and indeed our country and the globe, giving our employers that support so that injured workers get the support that they need. And it is a little bit rich being lectured by Mr. Davis about financial management of WorkSafe when in the 4 years that they were in government, those opposite were in government, they took $641 million out of the work cover scheme. So I will always work hard to ensure that WorkSafe is financially viable, because I understand the direct relationship between that and keeping workers safe at work and getting injured workers back to work safely.
Thank you. Mr. Davis on a supplementary.
I'll just simply record, President, that governments of all colours have taken dividends from the Work Cover Authority, including yours. In 2021, under your watch, the claims liability of WorkSafe increased by $4.3 billion to reach $24.5 billion. Do you accept responsibility for the $4 billion blowout in claims liability under your watch? And if not, who is responsible?
Thank you. Mr. Steed.
Thank you, President. I thank Mr. Davis for his supplementary question. And as I've already outlined in my answer to his previous question, these are not new issues. We understand that there is pressure on the scheme for a number of key reasons. One is the pandemic. The second pressure on the scheme is the number and the complexity of the types of injury claims that are being made in our state. And our government will always look to ways that we can proactively prevent injuries in the first place, but also make sure that injured workers have the supports they need and the treatments available so that they can return to work quickly. And of course the scheme and those at WorkSafe responsible for the finances of the scheme are looking incredibly closely at these pressures. But we are not shying away from the fact that there are challenges that face the work cover scheme in our state, which is why we have a program of reforms aimed at the financial viability